Good day everyone, welcome back once again. My name is Nick. As we look at this in demo mode, we're on the Commodore 64 and we're looking at a game called Formula 1 Simulator, published by Mastertronic in 1985. Now I quite like this music, it's by Rob Hubbard, if you know him, I'm sure you do. This is a budget title, $1.99, and it takes influences games like Pit Stop and Pole Position, which was released by Datasoft in 1984 as a full price game, so this is a budget sort of like version, and that was from the arcades from NAMCO in 1982. So we'll see how this goes, but I think you know already. You can select individual tracks, but we'll go for a Grand Slam. I think that might do them all in order. We're in this red car here, and we'll survive as long as possible. Now, it accelerates automatically, although you can decelerate, so it's just left and right. You'll see on the right there it says high, that's the gear I'm in. I can alternate between those two, so it's low and high. So basically survive as long as you possibly can. Now you see a steering wheel down the bottom there, which I'm turning left and right. Time on the left going down, so we need to get through the next checkpoint before that runs down, so it's a long way to go. It looks like we're doing lap by lap, so it's going to give us lap times there. There's the speed and the rate, and that's pretty much it. So it's quite a basic game, and we're going around these cars. There's a magenta one and a yellow one, and I think there might be a blue one, and that's about it. So I'm not sure there'll be two on screen at the same time. Horizon looks well standard sort of like stuff, and I've hit that car and I blow up. The explosion looks a little bit weedy. Now, as normal, if you had this game back in the day, let me know. This isn't about expert gameplay, it's about seeing how you got on the game the first or second go. Now, games like this, basic as they are, because I know what to do straight away, I probably would have played it quite a bit, although it not being particularly special. $1.99 for this, or full price for pole position, I probably would have gone for this actually. The one thing I don't like is the display. It's not using much of the screen there. They could have done it at the top of the screen like pole position did, but they've done it at the bottom of that big black bar and the steering wheel. Don't really need the steering wheel because we know when we're going left and right. But they had to make it different, and that's what they did. Oh look, how was I going to get past those two? I wasn't. Yes. Come on Nick, go go go. So there's quite a few games a bit like this around the place, both on the Commodore 64 and Spectrum and other systems as well. 1985, that's a while ago, isn't it? Pole Position 84. There's another game, Pit Stop, as well, that's fairly similar to this one. So let's drive. I'm on lap 2. Now, the thing I'm most interested about this, because there was different circuits, how different are the circuits to each other? I presume it's going to be grass both sides on every single circuit. We're just going to get a different bit of horizon. Here, we've got the very recognisable bit of horizon theme, at least, that's used in a lot of systems, which is just some various brown mountains. Yes, in the Brown Ridge Mountains of Virginia. If you're in the middle of some Brown Ridge Mountains, then comment in the comment section below, you Brown Ridge Mountain men. Now, on 8-bit games, it's very hard to recreate the sounds of an engine. Sometimes they can sound a bit like a fly trapped in a Tupperware box, but in this one they haven't done too badly. It could be using the Commodore 64's chip a little bit better, the sound chip, but it's okay with what is there. So got a bit of sound, got an okay engine there for what it is. Sounds okay, doesn't it really? As a kid playing this, and you've got to remember that, kids' imagination would add quite a bit more to the game. It's aged terribly, so it'd be very tricky getting a kid involved in this now. I suppose you could get away with it as a mobile game, I suppose, on phones. Yes. There we go. So it's single player, low or high gear. I think a Formula 1 car normally has about 7 gears, isn't it? So it's Formula 1 Simulator. Does it simulate Formula 1? Well, not really, does it really? There's no qualifying, there's no practice. Yes, there's no setup of the car. So it's just very, very arcadey. To call it simulator is a little bit of a stretch. They should have called it Formula 1 Arcade Super Duper Ooper Adventure, but maybe that was a bit of a long thing to fit on the cassette tape in a time of non-downloads and all that malarkey. Right, so a red car, so I presume it's a Ferrari. Could be a McLaren, but it would have white bits on for this particular era, sponsored by Marlboro. This is Ferrari time. So what are the other cars? A yellow one? What was yellow? It was Jordan a bit later on. So I don't think there's any yellow ones at this point. Who know different? Let me know. Maybe Renault? No, they weren't around, were they? Now we've got a magenta car. It could arguably be pink. Blue, that could be Ligier, the French outfit. They might have been bought by someone. They were eventually bought by Alan Prost for Prost Racing for a season or so. Yes. But the best lineup ever for Ligier, which gave Martin Brundle a commentator trouble at the time, where they had two drivers, one called Martin Brundle, and one called Mark Blundell. Yes, Brundle and Blundell. That was a commentator's nightmare, at least for Murray Walker. Good old Murray, those were the days. Those were the days. If any Formula 1 channels watching, like Sky, which I'm sure you are, and you want a new commentator for your Formula 1, then look at me. I can do it. I can do it. It's never going to happen, but one can dream a bit of comedy in it as well. And that's what you need. That's what you need, really. Formula 1, get a bit of fun in there. By Jove, you need it for some of those races nowadays. Back in this era, I think there was 16 Grand Prix races. Now there's about 23 to 24, plus sprint races. It's all about money and television rights, I suppose. Anyway, good luck to them, but drivers are going to get exhausted. They're not going to be able to drive to their early 40s like Alonso does now. Rightio, rightio. Now, if you watch this far into the video, please consider subscribing, because that's what makes the channel grow. Yeah, numbers is what a lot of people look at, how many numbers there are. But anyway, time recording, we're about 4,500, but we don't get 4,500 views, and not everyone is watching, which is fine. We're stress busting, and I've run out. Oh, I've got to the end, have I? So you have to do 5 laps. Stress busters! Hurrah! Big thanks to the members as well. It's not compulsory by any means, but it helps me keep going. I'm click on that members thing. Yeah, it starts off quite cheaply. That would really help me a great deal. Thank you very much. I was hoping it would go to the next track. Is it not going to the next track? So what does Grand Slam mean? No, it doesn't work. Okay. Well, that's my time. Oh, right. So it's a bit like checkered flag in that respect. You select what track you're doing. Let's go to Hockenheim. Yeah, see, look, exactly the same, except the mountains are white. That's about it, really. Now, if you want to see other Commodore 64 games we've reviewed, get building the number. Not as many as Z Spectrum, but we're building the numbers. Click on my username, takes you to the channel page. Click on playlist tab, and Commodore 64 will be there, along with a whole lot of others. We're nearing the time. We're nearing about 150. That's a few, isn't it? But still loads and loads and loads to go. I think this game is very, very different on the ZX Spectrum. I think you see more of the car's cockpit, I think. Anyway, might have got that wrong. Boo, 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 boo. So you've seen pretty much all the gameplay. It moves very smoothly, which I expect it to do. It's a budget game. It's not particularly exciting, but as I say, if you had it as a kid for £1.99 and you couldn't afford pole position, it does that okay. There we go. Well, I don't like the 6-lap thing you've got to do, but keep you occupied. My favourite game always of these sort of ones, which I have back in the day, didn't know, is Enduro on the Atari 2600. That one is amazing. I think it's the deep sounds hypnotise me, yes. If you look at that rumble strip, could you convince your brain it's heading in the other direction? That's something you could do. No, you can't, can you? Yep. The car can go a maximum of about 200 odd miles per hour. I presume that's 200 miles an hour. Remember, 6 laps to do, and then you're there. You could try and have a bit of fun and try and beat your best lap. But the checkpoint times, I mean, it's not effortless when you're doing the checkpoint, are quite generous. They need to have made it more, or like a banner. There's no obstacles either side, is there? It's very plain in that regard. Not like the odd bush or sign to go past. So it's extremely plain. You've just got this various horizon. It looks like it isn't quite finished, you know. Maybe that's why it was released at $1.99. Mastertronic had a huge budget range. So yeah, not particularly exciting, but basic gameplay is there, and for $1.99 you can't go wrong. It's pocket change, isn't it? Pocket money type stuff. Ooh, yeah, only 3 coloured cars to go past. That is about it. The tracks are fairly similar to each other. As I say, a bit like checkered flag, as I mentioned before, about beating your best times on the sort of track. So two elements there. Go, go, go! But as soon as you, it does save your best times. But as soon as you turn the computer off, it resets because you're not going to save it back to the tape again. That explosion could be a little bit more exciting than it is. Cars, well, they're sort of okay. Can't see the person driving it. Let's get around here. I think I might park this car up in a minute. Really, I don't think we do the full 6 laps there. Where shall I park this Ferrari? I thought they're going to moan at me at the pits now where I actually park it. What's up? Well, what should I say? I got an electrical problem and a hydraulic leak in my shoe. Okay, hope you liked having a look at that game. I didn't mind the thing. It's not the greatest in the world, but for the money, it's okay. Sounds okay. A bit of Rob Hubbard music to start off with too. So that was Formula 1 Simulator on the Commodore 64, published by Mastertronic in 1985. As I say, taking the influences from games like Pole Position. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro? By all means, put that in the comment section below. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.
Fantastic! This race is going to be a commentator's nightmare.
And yes, I am very much mistaken.
So easy to get it wrong. What's going on?